Working across the generations for positive change, strong and healthy families, these big-hearted volunteers are creating a fair, just and caring community. Representing Dunedin, please welcome Presbyterian Support Otago.
Kia ora tātou. For over 110 years, Presbyterian Support Otago has been helping people in need in the Dunedin community. Their mission is based on the values of early Scots settlers from the Free Presbyterian Church. Values such as inclusive community care, education for all, and democratic self-reliance. Since their services started in 1906, volunteers have driven all aspects of the organisation, from governance to caregiving. There is no part of their work that is not supported by volunteers. Presbyterian Support Otago volunteers make an impact in the Dunedin community every single day. To tell you more about the volunteers and the stories of the impact they have, please welcome Dunedin's representatives, Michelle Gewitz and Gillian Bremner.
When people first inquire about volunteering for Presbyterian Support Otago, one of the first questions they're asked is why they want to volunteer. Not once has the response been, because I want to change someone's life. Rather, the response is always, because I want to give back to the community I live in. The irony is, no matter the intent, our volunteers do change people's lives. Leonie is a grand old lady in her 80s. She lives in her own home, but she can no longer drive, and she doesn't have family in Dunedin, so she doesn't get out much. Leonie is isolated, lonely, and unhappy. Then she met Sarah. Sarah is a Presbyterian Support Otago visiting volunteer. Sarah and Leonie hang out together every week for a couple of hours, just spending time together. Sometimes they go for a walk. Occasionally they'll go shopping together, maybe to a cafe for a coffee and a catch-up. Sarah's accompanied Leonie to hospital appointments, which Leonie says she finds very comforting. For Sarah, visiting Leonie is just something she does, spends time with a friend. She says she enjoys it. For Leonie, she now has something to look forward to every week. She has a friend to support her when she needs it. She's not isolated, lonely, or unhappy anymore. Inadvertently or not, Sarah has changed Leonie's life. Or take Emma. Emma is an adult living with mental health challenges. Emma lives in a flat with flatmates who have similar needs to hers and a caregiver to provide support. Emma doesn't have many friends outside her flat, and none of her family are in Dunedin. Emma does attend Presbyterian Support Otago's day program for people with mental health challenges, Stepping Stones. At Stepping Stones, Emma learns new skills and makes connections with her community. At Stepping Stones, Emma met Jan. Jan gives up her time 3 times a year for 4 weeks at a time to come and do craft projects with people like Emma. The first time Jan came to Stepping Stones, Emma got involved in the project, making quilted cushion covers. When Emma had finished, she was so excited. She said, "This is the first time I've ever made anything. This is the first time I've made something that's mine." Jan comes to Stepping Stones to give back to the community she lives in. The result? Emma has created something, she's learned a new skill, and she now knows what she's capable of. Inadvertently, Jan has changed Emma's life. That's one side of the story. Let's hear what our volunteers have to say.
The many ways in which our volunteers make a difference in the Dunedin community are amazing. The Family Works Food Bank is open 5 days per week. It's managed by 1 staff member and supported by 12 volunteers on a roster.
And I just like coming in here and sorting it out and being amazed at the food that turns up, and I love packing up parcels to give to people, and everybody seems so grateful.
We receive and sort 110,000 food items and distribute over 3,420 food parcels every year to families in need. PSO volunteers help elderly people in the community. They bring colour and joy to people's lives.
The people that we bring here, they've given society a lot, and I feel it's a way of paying that back.
Presbyterian Support manages 3 op shops in Dunedin. They offer affordable clothing and household goods to people looking for a bargain. They are also wonderful community spaces where everyone feels welcome and supported by 90 volunteers.
Anybody that wants to volunteer, there is always a position for you, no matter what your talents or what your gifts are.
The Buddy program is one of Presbyterian Support Otago's most significant programs. It contributes to the emotional and social well-being of children in need. It matches the child with a carefully selected and trained adult volunteer.
And she's just a lovely girl. She was very shy and not confident when I first knew her, but she's really coming out of a shell.
In Dunedin there are 60 active buddy pairs and another 54 children waiting for a match. PSO volunteers come from all walks of life. They bring skill, knowledge, passion, compassion and energy to our work. We cannot achieve our mission without their commitment to the people of Dunedin. In difficult times, PSO volunteers help people feel loved, remembered and valued. They make Dunedin a great city in which to live.
The impact that Presbyterian Support Otago volunteers have is immeasurable. What's particularly special about our volunteer programs is the breadth and reach across the ages, from children at risk to families in need and then the vulnerable elderly. I guess we make it possible to connect people who care with those in need of help and support. In that way, the deep well of human kindness and caring, or manaakitanga, can be tapped and put into action. However, when working with at-risk children and vulnerable elderly or those with a chronic mental health condition, the real challenge can be ensuring the safety of both the client and the volunteer. So we do that through careful selection and matching, training, and ongoing supervision and support, ensuring the safety of them all. And that's done with the skilled expertise of the Family Works team. But it's the impact that the volunteers have on the people they work with that best tells the story. For example, young Jamie here, who's lacked a reliable male role model in his life, is acting out at school and at home and negatively influencing his younger siblings. For him, having a buddy to do things with once a week has been absolutely awesome. It's made a significant difference to his behaviour and indeed the family dynamic. He looks forward to that time just for him every week. He's a different kid, and all for $1,500 on average per buddy match per year. That's immeasurable. Or Frank, he's lonely with no family, few friends. He has Ollie help him make pikelets at the day program, the young supporting the elderly in the many activities at Club Enliven. And John says he enjoys it every time, counts the sleeps till the next session. That's immeasurable. We have 340 volunteers working in Dunedin. They give on average 28,000 hours of their time each year. The direct cost of the volunteer effort at our 78-bed aged care facility, for example, where there are 50 volunteers, is a mere $230 per volunteer per year. But actually it's immeasurable the impact that Presbyterian Support Otago volunteers have every day on the people that they work with. Theodore Roosevelt, at his Labour Day speech in 1903, said far and away the best prize in life is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. Our volunteers claim that prize every day. In so many ways make Dunedin a better place to live. Nō reira, tēnā koutou katoa.